Let's see Yasuke destroying these Asians. Poor Japanese guys, man. Making a 6'2" African dude who didn't even know how to wield a sword. Look how he's destroying them. Man, the disrespect to Japanese people in this Ubisoft is really fucking racist. The double standards. Imagine they do this shit. Imagine they do this shit in Africa to African people. Holy, look at this shit. This motherfucker just blew his head off. We all thought the controversy was over. We all thought AC Shadows was dead already. But no, its dumb spirit manages to resurface just to be brought down to hell once again. I seriously can't believe these people are UB racist. The disrespect wasn't enough. No, they had to steal banners without Japanese consent to include in this game. What a disgraceful company Ubisoft has become. The CEO and all the employees are cowardly hiding their double standards and hypocrisy behind a black character. You know who are crazier than the lunatics over at Ubisoft? The dumb idiots who defend them. Yes, if you are one of them, I am speaking directly to you as well. All of you guys that defend this dumpster fire and company by saying it's fiction, like we, the ones who hate this company and game, don't know what fiction is. Yet, if it's fiction, why do they try to represent Japan? Why don't they call it another land? If it's fictional, create an entire world and make it fully fictional. Don't include history in the fiction. So let's be clear of this argument once and for all. It is a fictional game based in real world history, so it is not fully fictional. Yasuke actually proves my point even further. The only reason Ubisoft could have gotten away with representing Japanese culture and people with a black person was to get a random stranger who happened to check their box in being black, and that person was Yasuke, a real historic figure. And he's not that historic either. Essentially, Yasuke was a coward who was in Japan carrying weapons for his master, and when his master killed himself in honor after losing a battle, Yasuke ran away like the coward he was, and no one knew of him ever again. You think this is the type of person Japanese people want to be represented by? So if it's purely fictional, and that's the excuse of these brainless people, why didn't they make samurais be ballet dancers instead of warriors? Let's make it fully fictional by your standards. So coming back to reality, this game is fictional based on true historic events. All that we, the players, requested, and more importantly, Japanese people, is for the samurai Japanese history to be respected and be as accurate as possible in order for the immersion to be there in the game, which this game does not deliver one bit. For starters, we are getting our main source of information for this Yasuke guy from Wikipedia, which changes every day. So we don't even know who this guy was in reality. What makes Ubisoft think a stranger that lasted 15 months in Japan, who was a captured slave, have a title of samurai? What made them think an African guy with African accent will represent Japanese lore and culture? Did they think this guy was going to make Japanese people proud to play this game? Why didn't they choose a real established samurai warrior with rich history? They could have basically copied and pasted with Japanese people's permission. Warriors such as Toyotomi, Miyamoto, Hattori, Hanzo, these are real epic warriors who represent Japanese people, not a slave who ran away from a fight. Second of all, why not make Yasuke a DLC character? Or be part of the story as a companion who you meet and helps you on your journey, instead of the main protagonist. Maybe start with him in the beginning of the game story in maybe a ship that he was being transported by slave traders, and then you rescue him or something, and that way he's loyal to you. I don't know, make him make sense, please. Because a black guy who is 6'2" wouldn't be such a big deal in America or my country where I live. I am 6'2" Hispanic myself. But in Japan, with 5'7" people, you know how ridiculous it looks. Also, why are Japanese people bowing down to him in the trailer? I don't understand that. If it was reality, people would have attacked him for pretending to be a samurai and wearing a stolen armor, in all honesty. Who would have crafted an armor piece only and specifically for Yasuke? No one, because there were no 6'2" Japanese samurais at the time. One thing I never understood from the trailer either is this justice thing from Yasuke. Like, who the hell is this guy? Like, who is he liberating? Is he liberating Japanese people from other Japanese? He speaks of corruption and greed, like he knows these people. He didn't even know how to speak Japanese properly since he only lasted 15 months in Japan. How could he know the struggles of Japanese everyday working individuals? If anything, he's bringing division and hate towards Africans in the game. They might make people think Africans are bound to start a war with them or something for stealing their armor and beating them to a pulp. Ubisoft recently had to apologize to Japanese people for copying and pasting a banner without their permission. This should send Ubisoft a clear red flag that Japanese people are not happy and in fact very angry with this game. Look at Sucker Punch. They took liberties and Japanese people loved that game. Why do you ask? Well, because it represented them in an honorable way. The main character is Japanese, and the story made sense even though it was fictional. It was believable because it was historically correct. Assassin's Creed Shadows only presents a woman of Japanese descent, a woman who by their standards, a woman could not be a samurai, only a ninja assassin or shinobi or whatever at the time. The only playable samurai, which is what people are here for, is not even Japanese. Not even a samurai, and not even a relevant part of samurai warriors. He carried weapons for a samurai lord. Why not make us play as that samurai lord instead and have Yasuke carry our weapons or make him our companion? That makes way more sense than what we actually got. To top everything off, and this is pointed by Japanese sources, the seasons were placed incorrectly in the game. The dojos were done incorrectly, and that they say that it looks more like China than Japan. Don't take my word for it, search it up. So they didn't even respect the demographic and style of Japan. It's a copy and paste for them. All Asians for them are the same. All Asians for them have the same culture and have the same building structure. Who told these racist idiots they could do a game which they know nothing about? I'ma use my favorite word that all these woke lunatics use against me. They are a bunch of bigots over at Ubisoft. The way this African dude was also destroying these Japanese warriors was too much as well. Breaking their heads with a baseball bat, lifting them up in the air while they have been stabbed with the katana, all very anti-honorable deaths, and something a samurai was surely not to do, and they will be condemned for actually, and be sentenced to death. Imagine they make the next game in Africa and have the main protagonist be white as snow, a Norseman, and chop Africans' heads up and destroy them while playing Viking music in the background instead of rap music here in the Japanese culture, which makes no sense. Oh, right, that's crossing the line. Any other races available except blacks. Protect them from everything and include them everywhere. These people have fetishes with black people. This is the most racist thing you could have towards black people. Thinking of them as pawns, fit to be used to your liking. Black people are more than that, and they don't need you, Ubisoft, to save them. The disrespect portrayed to samurais in this game is outstanding, and the crazy thing is I'm not even Japanese, but I stand with them. I stand with gamers who want fun games instead of crazy ideologies and DEI cancer in their games. As if it was not enough, they also made the characters LGBTQIA+++ extra plus, said by Ubisoft themselves. What do you expect if the Japanese historian for this game created a book called Boy Lovers or Male Lovers, whatever the hell this fucking lunatic person did? This person really is the Japanese historian they chose to hire. Like, how convenient. They hire a crazy person who wrote a crazy book regarding something that was frowned upon in Japan. The main historian of the game. Please, Ubisoft, stop checking boxes and come back to making decent games. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Let me know if you'll be playing this gay African samurai, or if you stand with Japan in correcting this matter and possibly canceling the game. Please like and subscribe and comment so that the algorithm can help this video. Thank you, and till the next one.